My next patron question is from Andrew, who wanted to know if I think a certain pop star should have gotten more acting roles. In her recently published memoir, pop music icon Britney Spears admitted that she wishes she had stepped out of her safe zone more and done more acting. While filming her 2002 teen drama Crossroads, she claimed to feel too emotionally challenged by the experience, and she would decline future acting offers, including an offer to star in Rob Marshall's adaptation of Chicago, which she came to regret. And she even auditioned for The Notebook before losing the role to Rachel McAdams. Do you think that Britney Spears could have had a promising career as an actress if she'd continued doing movies? So Britney Spears is one of those artists who I've personally grown a bigger appreciation towards over the past number of years. When she was the biggest pop star in the world, I admit I had a snooty attitude towards her and other music artists of that ilk. But back in 2019, I did a full rewatch of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and in one episode, Spears guest starred as herself. It was mainly promotion for the Melissa Joan Hart movie Drive Me Crazy, which Spears had contributed to the soundtrack for, and the credits for the episode even featured a snippet from that song's music video. I thought she did a good job in her small guest role, and that led me to giving some of her songs a listen, and it gave me a further understanding for why she was a big deal in the 90s and 2000s. There is a catchiness and energy to the songs she performed, and a screen presence in her music videos. I mentioned the Sabrina guest spot, but I also remember her appearing in an episode of The Famous Jet Jackson around that time. So it's probably not too surprising she got an offer to star in a movie, and she was even the person who developed Crossroads from the ground up. It was not simply a movie where she read a script, liked it, and then signed up. She was heavily involved in the production and had a lot of creative say in it. Due to recent legal issues being worked out and Sony acquiring the rights, Crossroads was recently put on Netflix, and I finally gave it a watch. Personally, I did not think much of it, as I found the characters underwritten, the story to be outlandish, and the drama unconvincing. But it was nonetheless a noble effort from Spears to jump into acting, and she seemed aware of her abilities, as the story is mostly about her character realizing she has the potential to be a singer. Not exactly a stretch for her to play this kind of role. I found the film was at its strongest during the musical numbers, as those scenes had the most energy, including a performance of I Love Rock and Roll. I feel like the movie would have been a lot better as a full-on musical. My opinion is somewhat in line with the critical assessment back in 2002, although not nearly as harsh. It was primarily written off as a vanity project, with Spears' acting skills being heavily criticized. In typical Razzie Awards fashion, they named her the worst actress of 2002 for a performance in Crossroads, and then 2 years later named her the worst supporting actress for a brief interview snippet edited into Fahrenheit 9/11. I already went over how stupid the latter was in my history of the Razzie Awards, but they absolutely gave her these awards because of her popularity with teenage girls at the time, and the Razzies revel in mean-spirited pettiness. I don't know if she became aware of the Razzies' treatment of her, but I would not be surprised if the reaction to Crossroads also played a role in her not giving acting a bigger shot. It's possible that Hollywood did its usual thing and looked at that movie and thought she should stay in her lane. She did play a role in an episode of Will and Grace in 2006, portraying a stereotypical Southern belle. Watching clips from that episode, she did show solid comedic timing. She also appeared in episodes of Saturday Night Live and How I Met Your Mother. She honestly could have headlined her own sitcom like Reba McEntire did, but she seemed to focus largely on her singing career. You might expect me to go into her personal troubles, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. That's none of our business, and even back then I thought the tabloid and paparazzi scrutiny she was placed under was cruel and uncalled for, and they should have left her alone. I also think it's wonderful that her conservatorship has ended. I think she absolutely had and still has the potential to be a successful actress. With the right material and direction, I could see Britney Spears in a wacky comedy or a serious drama or an animated film, or yes, a musical. Why don't you put her in the next Knives Out movie, Rian Johnson? I think she would do well in one of those. But most of all, like any artist, she should do whatever makes her happy, and if a script arrives at her home that she thinks she's the right fit for, well, I'll definitely be curious to see her take that on. Thank you for your question, Andrew.